I'm Dr. Sri Lakshmi, Assistant Professor, Government RC College, Bengaluru. This session is about the subject Corporate Communication Skills, Paper 2, BBA 4th semester. This subject covers 5 modules. The first module is about Introduction to Corporate Communication. So, this session focuses on giving you the brief guidelines about the introductory aspects, meaning and definition of communication, characteristics of communication. Let's get started. Communication is the process of exchanging information. The word communication is derived from the Latin word communis, which means commonness. Communication is the process of transmitting information, thoughts, opinions, messages, facts, ideas, emotions, and understanding from one person or place or things to another person. It has become an essence of management. The manager spends 80% of his total time on communicating. He communicates with his subordinates, superiors, peer members, and other parties dealing with the organizations such as customers, trade unions, leaders, members, government officials, and so on. It is an important element of directing function, but the manager has to communicate with regard to his other managerial functions. Effective communication is a flash of lightning and even more illuminating. It enables to understand others and make ourselves understand. It is an established fact that managers spend 75 to 90% of their working time in communicating with others. Many research studies have concluded that individual and organizational performance can be improved by effective communication. Not only this, but how effective and efficient is the manager on his job depends on his communication skills and abilities. To secure better results, the effective communication seems to be more important than exercising control and using formal authority. Hence, you would have understood how important is communication in our both day-to-day personal life and organizations. You need to know the meaning of the term communication. It is sharing of one's ideas, opinions, and information through written or spoken words, symbols, or actions. Communication can be effective only when the message conveyed by the sender is understood by the receiver. It may be the fact that when you're sending the message, the sender has to be very clear and he should be conveying the message which can be understood by the recipient or receiver. The essence of communication is getting the receiver and the sender turned together for a particular message. Let's discuss few popular definition of communication. It may be defined as the exchange of facts, ideas, opinions, and emotions between two or more persons to create an understanding in the minds of the receiver. In other words, communication is the sum of all things a person does to create an understanding of other person. It involves a systematic process, telling, listening, and understanding. Therefore, communication means sharing of ideas in common. When we communicate, we are trying to establish commonness with someone. That is, we are trying to share information, an idea, or an attitude. The essence of communication is getting the receiver and the sender turned together for a particular message. The definition given by Kuhn's Ordinal, it's an exchange by words, letters, symbols, or messages, and is a way that one organization member shares meaning and understanding with another. Therefore, it is an exchange of facts, ideas, opinions, or emotions by two or more persons. You need to know the characteristics of communication. It is a social process because it involves two or more persons and they exchange ideas, information, and knowledge. It is a two-way process in which sender sends the information to the receiver who receives it, understands it, and starts acting upon it, gives a feedback to the sender. Communication is all pervasive in nature because information, knowledge, facts, and opinions are exchanged between two or more at every level of the organization, as well as between and outside the organization. It is definitely a continuous and ongoing process because every superior has to be in regular touch with his subordinates, has to seek progress of work in conformity with standards. It is a process at creating understanding or commonness or unity of mind on the particular matter between sender and receiver of information. To sum up with the characteristics, it is a social process, it is a two-way process, and it is a continuous and pervasive in nature, and it is aiming at creating understanding in the minds of the receiver. It's necessary to know how important is communication. In order to survive, the greatest need of human being is psychological survival. To be understood, to be affirmed, and to be validated, and to be appreciated. When we listen carefully to another person, we give that person psychological confirmation. And it is necessary for us to focus on influencing people and solving problems through our effective communication. Firstly, it helps in achieving coordination. Modern business firms, which are organized on a large scale, consist of workers working on the basis of division of labor and specialization. To attain the goal of business unit, there is a need for coordination among workers, and this is in need for coordination among workers and can be achieved only through effective communication. So, if you want to achieve a task, you need to coordinate with every individual, communicate effectively, and get things done. It helps in smooth working. To achieve the goals of an organization, an enterprise, or a business, or even in our personal life, we need to be focused and it requires cooperative action. In turn, depends on the communication process which is prevailing in the organization. It improves or helps in increase managerial efficiency. It is said most of the managers' time is spent on communication. This helps the manager in performing his duties quickly and systematically. It definitely helps in decision making for taking any sort of decisions and also for its effective implementation. A good communication system in the enterprise is a primary requirement. It helps in maintaining industrial peace. Lack of communication or improper communication may result in industrial disputes between managers and workers. If you have an effective communication, it helps in bringing harmony and peace in industry. It helps in recruiting process. Communication is needed in the recruitment process to acquaint potential employees with the merits of working for the enterprise. The recruits are told about the company organization structure, its policies, and practices. Hence, communication helps you to work effectively and it helps employees to perform effectively. Employees are required to know their job relationships and importance to the overall operations. This knowledge makes it easy for them to identify themselves with the organizational mission. And it helps you to acquaint subordinates with their evaluation. It is needed to acquaint the subordinates with the evaluation of their contribution to the enterprise activity. It is matter of some motivational importance for the subordinates to know their superior, how they and what the future may hold for them. And they want to know if they are progressing with the organization. Hence, evaluation and feedback is necessary. It helps in teaching employees about personal safety. Communication is needed to teach employees about their personal safety on the job to reduce industrial accidents, to lower compensation, to maximize legal costs, and to reduce recruitment and training costs for replacement. It helps manager performing his functions. It helps the manager in performing his managerial functions such as planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. Planning requires detailed communication among the managerial and other personnel. Hence, communication plays a vital role in our day-to-day functioning of an organization. Hope this session would have helped you in learning the introductory aspect, meaning, definition, characteristics, and importance of communication. With this, we complete our first session toward